Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now in this video, I will be reviewing the DC Direct Page Puncher latest release from McFarlane, which is Supergirl, based from the storyline Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Now at the front of the box, it shows the full figure and the accessories that comes with it. The side, bottom, side, top. And the back actually shows the cover of the comic book, which is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. So let us unbox this figure and see if McFarlane did justice to this version of Supergirl. So this is everything out of the box. Being a page puncher, she comes with the number one comic book. I'm not. I don't mean that this is the number one comic book. I mean that this is issue one on the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic book. Just want to make sure I clear that out. Okay. I guess this is one way of DC in promoting people to read comics. Standard McFarlane art card with the short biography of the character at the back for Kara Sorrell. Alternate close fist hands. A sword, which I guess is because she had a sword here in the cover. Now, I haven't really read the this storyline, but I'm kind of curious about it now. After they said that the coming Supergirl movie is basically based on this, and yeah, crypto is even in it. Is even on it. Okay, so the sword, and then the standard McFarlane stand. Now, out of the box, she came with the, I guess, one flying hand, or you can also say karate chop hand, and one sword holding hand. Okay, after having a close look at my copy, I guess I'm gonna have to start with the negative. One of the negative is that the knee joints are unpainted, so basically they actually are of a different color compared to the whole leg. So that's kind of an eyesore if you are actually looking closely at it. Same thing as this joint. They are different color to the whole leg. So yeah, this is something that I'm not gonna be missing from McFarlane. Uh, After the news that they are absorbed by Mattel, is that I mean, for the longest time that McFarlane had the DC line, they did not even improve on their technology on having pinless joint and at least making sure that the color of this joint matches the figure. Another negative that I want to point out, because I think McFarlane's QC has been really lazy now. If you will look at the joint of the hand, this specific joint, it's not even a perfect circle. It's kind of warped up. The shape of the joint is warped up. I mean, how did this even pass QC? the least they can do is actually give us a peg that is actually of the perfect shape and not warp out like this. I mean, again, how did this pass QC? Now, I'm pretty sure one of the biggest questions that you guys have about this figure is that did they actually use a new mold, or is this a better body mold compared to the first Supergirl that they released? First answer is that, yeah, I think they used the same body mold. I just don't really have the first Supergirl available right now. I don't know where I hid it, but I think they use the same body mold as far as the torso and the hands are concerned. Now, one of the biggest glaring problem that figure is the huge junk on her trunk. Now, is that the same problem in this figure? Unfortunately, guys, yes, because if you will look at it, there goes that square. But I think at least now they somehow exerted an effort to make it look smaller. I mean, how hard could it be if they at least carve that out a little smaller so that it won't be that big? I mean, but to be fair, I think they were able to create the illusion for this to actually look more acceptable than the first one because design wise, they actually gave her a more a longer and more dynamic skirt, which I guess somehow confiscated that she actually has a huge chunk on her trunk. I don't know. I don't know why McFarlane can't give us at least a good Supergirl, but yeah, I guess for this one, this doesn't look as bad as the first one, considering that they are still the same guys. They use the same mold. But the skirt, the design of the skirt, the way it is that it is dynamic, I guess that it is floating on our right side, somehow created the illusion and doesn't make it look that as bad as the first Supergirl that they release. Now on the positive, I think this head sculpt compared to the first one is a huge improvement. Now, some of you guys may not like it because this is actually not a face of Supergirl that is like cute or pretty. It actually has like this mad expression, which I actually like. I guess it is actually accurate for the storyline that they base this from because again I'm not sure uh, uh, about the full storyline of this one, but I guess based from the YouTube videos that I had, there was someone who commented that basically the writer, which is I don't know Tom King, I don't know King, not familiar with the writer, technically stolen the story of True Grit. So for this storyline, I'm not sure because as I said, I haven't really read that one. But if that is the case, I think this face sculpt is more accurate on that storyline. Yeah. On the promo shots that were shown, I kind of didn't like the head sculpt, but now that I have it on hand, to be honest, I kind of like it. The way that her hair is also painted, I like that white light wash that was given on it. So yeah, the head sculpt is definitely a huge improvement on this figure. The second thing that I like about this figure, which I guess is a huge improvement, is the wired soft cloth cape. Not only that they gave her a wired cape, which actually add a pen factor when posing the figure, but Look at that. I was so glad when I saw that she has this S logo at the back of the cape. That is amazing. And third and last improvement that I think is on this figure compared to the first one is that here. At least she's showing a little skin on her legs. I don't really understand why they made the decision of covering the whole leg of the first figure. This is definitely a huge improvement compared to the first Supergirl that they released. So this is definitely going to be my definitive Supergirl in my shelf. Okay, so now some close-up look at the figure, just in order for you to appreciate or at least have a look on the sculpt and the mold of the figure. So that is the front, the side, the other side, and the back. Having another look at the back of the figure, now with the cape out of the way. Now for articulation, I'm not expecting too much for the head articulation because this is one of those female characters with a lot of hair. So the hair will be on the way of the range of the articulation. Yeah, so that is all for the articulation. She can look down pretty well though, but no looking up. Now for the hands, they can rotate like that, and then they can do the T pose. I don't think there isn't much butterfly articulation for it. Yeah, there isn't much. Bicep cut, double jointed elbow, and then again this hand with the bad mold. Can do that, then that. I think it's even worse on this other side. I mean, just look at that. Why would that pass? Nah, I don't know. So she can do that. For the abdominal cut, can do that. Then she has waist rotation. So she can look down, she can bend forward, not much. She cannot bend forward that much. She can bend backward though, pretty well. Then side to side is acceptable. For the leg, thigh swivel technically doesn't exist. Double jointed knee, ankle has rotation like that. Then it can go up that way, can go down that much. Pivot, and then toe articulation. The skirt still is made of hard plastic, but not just that. This mold, the waist mold that McFarlane uses, technically also doesn't just look bad, but it practically also limits the articulation. So that's the only range of it. Then for the Van Damme, up to that. So that's it for the articulation. For some size comparison, here she is with Nightfall Batman. Here she is with Christopher Reeve Superman. I think she skills pretty well. Here she is with Return of Superman version of Superman. Here she is with Blue Lantern Kyle. And here she is with Wonder Woman. I think McFarlane actually nailed it when it comes to the skill of this Supergirl. She also does not come with a plate stand, which I guess is another negative for this figure. Anyway, I guess I was pretty specific on the what I found positive and negative on this figure, but overall, bottom line, this is still a huge improvement for a Supergirl figure compared to the first one that they released. And honestly, despite the fact that they practically use the same body mold of that first Supergirl that they released, this actually somehow works and look better. And again, I guess it's because of that dynamic and bigger, longer skirt that they've given her, which is why, which is why for me this is still a recommend, especially if you've been looking for a good Supergirl figure lately. To be honest, I haven't really found a perfect Supergirl figure, but for now, I think this is gonna be on the top of it. I have some of those Mattel Supergirl figures, but yeah, they don't compare to this one. This is still better, which I think it's something that I'm gonna miss on the positive side. I'm gonna miss for McFarlane because their figure actually looks like collectibles, but when it comes to Mattel, well, they practically look like toys. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that transfer, that uh, news on McFarlane losing the license, but I just wish that that Mattel learned their lesson when they first lost their DC license. And one thing that I think they can do is that keep the 7 inch scale, because their 7 inches Motu Master of the Universe lines are actually pretty good. They're they compared to McFarlane, they're actually already pinless. I actually have a copy of their Shira figure, the first one that they released, the Princess of Power one, not the new one that they just announced. And that figure is actually not that bad, because one thing that I noticed, as I said, they are pinless. The only negative that I can say on that figure is the head sculpt. That is one weakness of Mattel, which I hope they improve. And if they do, yeah, I wish they make a good job on the this time on their DC Multiverse line, because I'm one of those person who just started collecting the DC Multiverse when McFarlane handled it. I never really liked the Mattel DC Multiverse. Anyway, guys, going back to this figure, I think for me it is a must buy, especially now that McFarlane is losing their license. I'm thinking that this will be the last iteration of Supergirl that they will be releasing. And yeah, for me, right now, this is the best Supergirl figure that I have. Anyway, that's just my opinion, guys. If you disagree, maybe you can help me on my search for the best Supergirl figure and leave on the comment what brand is that. Anyway, guys, if you've reached this part of my video, thanks a lot. If you like my video, please don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe. And again, enjoy life and keep collecting.